we've got this lovely restaurant leading into your project, and I know you've made some changes to adjust for the new textures and the colors and contemporary feeling of light that you've been bringing in. So what were some of the things that you had to do in order to make this fit in?
Our opportunity here was to update the finishes very simply and cleanly. There was a lot of kind of 1962 oak column covers, which we simply painted this ivory color, a little more updated look. We opened the restaurant to the terrace by removing some of the heavy drapery and window treatments. The restaurant is used very heavily during breakfast, so having the windows open and the natural light coming in during breakfast service is really wonderful.
Indeed, and that does look like it's completed, and it seems to be moving seamlessly from the lobby into this new addition.
Right.
And that was the idea, right?
That was the idea, was so that people on this level, they have the lobby experience where they can hang out, be in a sofa, use their laptop. There's a bar where they can relax, meet their friends. There's the restaurant. And then it's connected seamlessly to this pre-function area where they may be going for a meeting or going to get their name badge on their way to a meeting or meeting some colleagues
Now, this must
and
be
going out on the
very
terrace.
satisfying to see
Seems
this
like it makes a lot of sense.
completion.
Does.
We've got this. Is this an idea that you guys came up with the waterfall?
Well, we're now actually standing on the roof of the new exhibit hall and conference center.
Hmm.
So we wanted to be able to use the roof to provide terrace and outdoor amenities for the guests. But one of the things is that the exhibit space, the conferencing facility down below, needs a higher ceiling height.
Hmm.
So we wanted to use a green roof, but we didn't want to have like a wall as you go from the finished floor level of the lobby space to the ceiling height required to accommodate the conference center below.
Okay.
So we're using this stone wall and these water features uh, both to provide some intimate spaces in the terrace
Hmm.
and the sound of the water, which is really nice, but also to kind of transition the fact that we really have a high roof over that area.
Yeah, yeah. I could see sleeping out here at night. This is very
Yeah, it's
relaxing
really
looking.
beautiful.
Indeed. So as we make our way into the hotel, which is the whole area, this is all what you've designed, including the entrance, which is very welcoming
Right.
for people.
And this is a case where you get to design the roof.
Mhm.
Usually you just say, and it's the roof, but here we actually get to design a roof and activities that can happen on it. Green activities as well as leisure activities, relaxation, kind of an alternative place to go and sit, relax between meetings.
Mhm.
Um, they have fire pits. They have events out here, cocktail parties, dinners, so
You can
forth.
rent the space out.
Yeah, you can rent the space for social activities like a wedding,
Okay.
or for an event during a conference, like there's an opening reception on the terrace,
Mhm.
for instance, those kind of events.
Okay, well, right now it's getting kind of sunny, so why don't we make our way inside and get a feel for what you've done in the interior, because that's extensive work.
One of the challenges that they were of the hotel was that while there was the really big international ballroom downstairs,
Mhm.
they didn't have the second venue, which we created. But they also didn't have breakout spaces. And so in today's hospitality market, what customers want is the ability to have a large meeting and then to have specialty breakout sessions. And the hotel really couldn't accommodate a lot of breakout sessions.
Mm.
So we took this wing of the hotel, which was before it was hotel rooms, and we created this breakout area, which I think is really fantastic because the breakout pre-function area has natural daylight. It opens onto the terrace, and all of the breakout rooms themselves have windows in it that face the north. So it's really great to be able to have meetings that have access to natural light. I think we've all been in meetings where you're kind of trapped in some underground, you don't know if it's sunny or snowing or,
Mhm.
but it's nice to have that kind of amenity for the meetings. I think it's going to make the people who are attending the meetings more engaged, and enjoying themselves more, to be able to have access to the natural light.
So the theme will be Let the Sun Shine In.
Let the sun shine.
Okay, we've got a comparison of the chairs here. We've got two of the pre-existing chairs from the hotel as it was formerly. And, these are pretty traditional, classic-looking chairs. But yet we have something now that represents contemporaria. And it's certainly more comfortable, too.
Business travelers come to a hotel to work. And people want to work everywhere now. They want to be able to work in their hotel room, in their car, in the hotel lobby. And they expect to have the same amenities in a conference setting that they have in their own office. So while these are lovely but dated banquet chairs, probably the best thing about them is that they stack.
Yeah, that is a problem, though. You don't stack these.
No, but this is an ergonomic desk chair. So it has arms. It has a height adjustment. It swivels. It's set up so that the person who's in the meeting area, who's actually working, has the business amenities that they're used to in their office. They can adjust the chair to the right seat height. They can adjust the lumbar support so they feel more comfortable. They have rests to put their arms on. It's the working environment that they're accustomed to.
And they can swivel, which means they can play on the chair.
They can go round and round and round.
That's right, just like the kids do.
Right.
But now there is a problem when it comes to stackability. As you pointed out, that's one disadvantage of chairs like this.
There's definitely a place in all our homes and in hospitality for chairs that stack and you can hide in a closet. One thing about these chairs is because they're on casters, they're easily moved around. But I think asking somebody who's going to be in a meeting from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock to sit in a stacking banquet chair and work is not the shortest road to productivity.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense in the big picture. And by the way, I'm sure these are a bit pricier. They look like they're more complex.
Yes, they're at a higher price point than the stacking banquet chairs. But the investment that a business traveler has in his time, he may have bought an expensive ticket to this. A company may have paid for a bunch of their employees to attend. For them to not leave here with a backache is well worth the additional dollars.
You think they appreciate that?
I do think they appreciate that. I think that they see it as a better environment to conduct their meetings, a better environment. If you're a speaker in a meeting, I would rather have people who are comfortable sitting in their chair than sitting there squirming around in a little banquet chair because your back hurts or you don't have a place to put your arms or your legs are dangling.
I've always thought that the sign of a good chair was one that you could fall asleep in.
Well, that's even bigger than these chairs.
Yeah. But if you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the room certainly looks nice.
Well, all of these meeting rooms have the access to the natural light, which is, again, very unusual in meeting space, but I think really goes to the productivity and keeping the people in the meeting engaged. You may say, oh, they're drifting off because they can look outside. But I really think that being able to see outside keeps you alert.
Definitely, especially if there's something natural out there to see.
Right.
Sitting at these desks, people can see what they're writing, and there's a sense of enormity about this room. And I'm sure you have a panel behind here that you can remove and enlarge your room if you need to.
All of the walls that you see with the fabric wall covering are movable walls. So this can be reconfigured in many, many different ways. This room can be larger than this. It can be broken down into smaller rooms. It can be reconfigured to meet the needs of the organization that is having the meetings. Some people need to have a large meeting at the beginning of the program. Then people need to go into smaller meetings. They can reconfigure the meeting, open it back up and make it larger for a lunch meeting, take it back down. So it's very quickly and easily repurposed.
Okay. So it's good enough for the Airline Pilots Association. I'd say that's pretty good. Okay. Now, this is an amenity on a 95-degree day, such as we're having. So this is the pool that you additionally.
This is the new pool. The old pool was located where the new conference center is.
Uh-huh.
So we created a new pool. It's up at a higher level. It has a really lovely area.
Okay. So now we have this place where the president is protected from any potential problems like that, because this area is always sealed off when he comes in.
Right. The International Ballroom, which is on the concourse level, is one of the largest venues in the Mid-Atlantic region. So there are many important events where the president needs to attend that are held here. So to create a safe entrance for the president, this was built. The presidential limousine comes into that holding area. The doors come down front and back, so the president is completely sealed. And then there's a door that leads into a presidential blue room and then into the meeting space so he can give a speech, attend the dinner, and so forth.
Okay. So on the other side now, we can see the piece that you've designed, which, by the way, is mostly owned by Magic Johnson. It's his consortium, Canyon Johnson, I believe they're called.
Yes, Canyon Johnson Urban Fund is the major investor in this project. They invest in projects in cities where they see a benefit both to the community, to the workforce, as well as a business opportunity. So it was a pleasure to work on a project where the ownership had such a complete vision for what his investment dollars could help create. Most of our work is either renovation of guest rooms or is underground. So you really can't see it. You can see just a little bit of the exit doors, and the big blue door is so that they can have a car show in the new exhibit hall and drive the cars in and out.
Oh, can't miss that door. Whose idea for a blue door?
I'm not sure why it's blue, but it works for the cars, and it also works to help set up complex exhibits for large vendors.
Well, is there any coincidence to the fact that you have a blue door and this bright blue carpeting inside?
No.
Just worked out that way.
Just worked out that way.
Okay, we're going to take a look at the exterior and then the interior.
Okay.